LBC with Nick Abbot. Call 0345 6060 973. Text 84850. Alexa, send a comment to LBC.
Jon-Christopher Bua is the White House correspondent for Real Political News and joins us on the line now. Hello, John.
What a pleasure to be on the line with you, and that was an interesting conversation I overheard. Universal problems, I might say.
Yes, quite. Now, I really don't know where to begin. Let's begin with Jeffrey Epstein, shall we? It's a very good place to start. MAGA is upset.
Yes, of course. Because Trump got them all juiced up about him, and now he's stuck with it. He's holding the ball, and he doesn't know what to do with it, and MAGA wants blood, and Trump realizes that if he gives any more, he's going to be outed, and he's going to have a problem because he may be deposed.
You really think it's going to get that serious?
Oh, it's already that serious. We go back here, they go back 15, almost 20 years, and the things that I've seen and the things that have been related to me that he's been involved with extremely young girls is frightening and disgusting. And this will open out. This is the great unraveling, is what I call it. And this is what's happening as we speak tonight.
But they're calling, and when I say they, I mean his MAGA fans, and the real sort of leading lights of the crazy MAGA movement, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Laura Loomer and people like that, Tucker Carlson and a whole lot of them basically are saying, on the one hand, that we need this information because we were promised it by Donald Trump. It was one of the things that he promised his fans that he was going to release.
Exactly.
Draining the swamp. Vote for me, and we'll give you juicy names, because that's what they were after, essentially, wouldn't they? Well, names that they've heard of, and now he's in a position to do it. He's not doing it anymore.
Well, Trump promised to deliver the goods against the Democrats, which, by the way, including Pizzagate and Hillary Clinton when he was running against her, and now he cannot deliver. Donald Trump and his team spent years convincing his followers that
I felt that was going to happen.
Democratic pedophile ring, which in fact he was, but Trump was involved in it. And the craziest thing is this Ghislaine Maxwell. She was Epstein's lover and fellow procurer of little girls.
Yeah,
how bizarre is that?
She was
get any more freaky, man.
She was his madam. But I mean, to be clear, just having your name on this list that people want released is not an indicator of wrongdoing. It just means that you have been in his orbit, and because he was a billionaire, and the source of his wealth is a bit of a mystery, but billionaires hang out with other billionaires. I mean, the rich they hang out with other rich people, and he was very gregarious, and he held parties, and he was in with the in crowd, and
he did. I've taught in private schools in New York. Before I taught at university, I taught at we call them elite private schools, the schools like that JFK Jr. went to, etc. Now, one way to get into the elite is to befriend yourself with some of these families. And Epstein got himself a job at a school called Dalton, which William Barr's father was the headmaster, and he had no degree, and he got himself a job in that school, and he could have his way and blackmail, do whatever he wanted to do with the families, and almost every powerful person was in his orbit. That's just how it works in the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and the West Side too, I might add.
Yeah, but just to be clear, though, the people are asking for the release of this Epstein list, but that doesn't really count for anything, does it? What people actually want is, well, I guess they want evidence that famous people have been, caught doing appalling things. But that's not what the Republicans are going to release, even if they release anything at all.
Well, that's very true. So the jury is, excuse me, phrase, but the jury is out on that. But what is interesting to me, and that's something that I've been pushing on in the social media world, my question is this. Everything that was done to young girls is hideous, and they still haven't had their justice, and that's still going on. And that's may go on forever. and they're very damaged from this. But the thing that I really like to know, what happened to Epstein? How did he die in his prison cell?
Well, that's one of the great mysteries, isn't it? And the Pam Bondi, she's what's her title again?
Well, she's just pretty general. That's all.
Right. Yeah, she is insisting that that's just the way that the prison closed-circuit television works, because people are pointing to this 1 minute gap in the coverage of the door cell that Epstein was in, that he supposedly killed himself in. There's a minute gap, and her position is that that's just normal, but it doesn't seem normal.
How convenient, I might say. How convenient.
Now, the upshot of this is that the Wall Street Journal printed what, on the face of it, looked a pretty benign birthday wish from allegedly from Donald Trump to Epstein, which in and of itself is no great indicator of terrible deeds, is it? It's just one man wishing a happy birthday, but there's some sort of coded language in it, but it's not something that would frighten the horses. And yet Donald Trump is now suing the owner of the Wall Street Journal, which is Rupert Bloomin' Murdoch, for not £10 million, £10 billion. Do you think that figure? Yeah. Do you think that figure itself is an indicator of desperation, panic?
It's an indicator. Yes, good, Nick. It's an indicator of fear. The Wall Street Journal would not have published it if they were not sure that Trump did it. In fact, I thought that drawing was pretty good. It was kind of a little Matisse-like, but that's giving him too much credit, I think. But he says he never draws, he never talks, he never does anything. There's one incredible lie after another. The man is desperate. He's trying to control the world, and he's trying to be the thought police. He's trying to do away with universities, do away with the media, and put people in jail. There's ICE police all over the country throwing people in prison. And I think he's desperate. And the Access Hollywood tape proves that he does talk this way. Yeah. We've heard that. We've all heard that disgustingly.
Yes, and he has sold pictures that he has drawn for charity for five-figure sums. So he absolutely, totally does draw or write pictures, as he put it. But do you think of all the people in the world that he could have picked a fight with, and of course he has picked fights with, as you say, universities and other newspapers, the Wall Street Journal and the New York Times, and I think CBS and every institution that he's picked a fight with has immediately fallen to the floor and begged his forgiveness. They've crawled across the carpet to kiss his feet. But do you think that even including Elon Musk, that the only person on Earth to be somebody who he could not quite conceivably beat in a fight is the one that he has picked on here, Rupert Murdoch?
Well, Rupert Murdoch goes back to News Corp, goes back to, he was head of Sky News when I was there, and he was quite a formidable man. And I have to say, he picks a fight with Rupert, and Rupert's not going to back down. He's got plenty of dough, and he's got his own sense of integrity. And Trump is picking with somebody who may not collapse indeed. So we'll just have to see. The fact is that Trump, as usual, wants people not to believe what they see with their own eyes. And Murdoch is a formidable opponent, and he could very possibly win. He says, don't believe what you see. Don't believe what you hear. Only listen to me. I'm your God. You're my disciples. Bow down. Take it, and that's it. And the fact is, it's wearing away, and it's getting awful thin, and it's not a good. And the guy's not well. He's got some kind of a thrombosis, a vein issue in his ankles, and that's not a good sign. I don't know if it's aggravation that's causing it, or if it's his horrible diet, or if it's just having to listen to me on your show. I don't know.
But the thing with Rupert Murdoch is that, apart from Elon Musk himself, you could say that Rupert Murdoch was most responsible, apart from Trump, most responsible for putting Trump in the White House twice, because it's Fox News that was Donald Trump's megaphone for years.
Yes, indeed, that's right. And the fact is that Trump does not know how to maintain his allies and nurture a relationship, because it's all paltry. It's whatever is good for him at the time, and then he'll dump you. And I think that's what's happening with Rupert. And I think, unfortunately, Rupert's not going to stand for it. He's got nothing to lose.
Well, what he does have to lose is the audience figures for Fox News, because those people who watch for news of Donald Trump, they've joined a cult, and they're not going to be happy if their favorite news outlet starts telling them things they don't want to hear.
Well, they don't. And also, Trump is going after Fox News. He doesn't like what they're saying about him, and he lets them know it full well.
And you don't think that Rupert Murdoch will make a business decision and just settle like every other institution that Trump has gone after?
And I've known Rupert Murdoch for almost 30 years. And my answer to that is N-O spells no, as kids say. Fox News needs MAGA. MAGA wants the files disclosed, and that is not good for Trump. And I think that's what's going to happen.
Elon Musk has been quite quiet lately, hasn't he? Because he sort of kicked this off in a way by saying, after he got invited to leave the White House, he started attacking his guys, saying, Donald Trump doesn't want to release the files because his name is in the files.
Well, Musk has done enough damage, and maybe he's had a call to Jesus. I don't know. But he's done away with FEMA. He's done away with NOAA. We have hurricanes. We don't know what the National Public Radio, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, all this Doge stuff that he did away with. The fact is that we have a country that is no longer able to function when it comes to what we do for charities, what we do for foreign relations, and the FEMA program. It's just extraordinary. And maybe Elon has learned a lesson, or maybe not. But Musk just got a new, very big federal contract. So he's keeping his head low. He just got a big federal contract with his star something or other, and I think he's working on that, and he's being a good boy for a couple of weeks.
The Starlink satellite system.
Starlink, exactly right.
Yeah. It's difficult to know where this is going. What's Trump's popularity like? Are his fans sticking with him?
Well, his popularity is interesting. Every category is losing. First of all, the independents have cut him loose. The Republicans are now they're disenchanted, especially, as I always say, with the rock-ribbed Republicans. He has not come through. He's firing. He thinks he'd like to fire the Fed chair Powell, and he's taking a beating from that. Even his Treasury Secretary Bassett is telling him that's a stupid idea. So he's out there he's like a guy who's on a trampoline, and he hasn't come down yet. He's just up there wiggling his legs and like a little kid, hoping he doesn't hit the surface. But I'm afraid it's showtime.
And Scott Bessent doesn't seem to make any noise about the stupidity of this insane tariffs game that Trump is playing. But has the consequence of that in inflation hit the American public yet, or is that yet to happen?
I mean, we have our own problems with inflation here, and the gas isn't any cheaper. Bread isn't any cheaper. People are still like the ladies who were talking to, the nurses. Jobs are not easy to find, and Trump is trying to change the voting districts in Texas. And Trump is he just fired he's trying to fire the chairman of the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Which is he can't do that except for cause. In other words, the Fed chair would have to do something that was felonious. Trump hinted that Jerome Powell last week the market, when he said he hinted about it, the market fell dramatically in a half an hour. And the independent central bank is what we have in this country, as I believe you do in the UK, and that has to be kept neutral.
Well, it doesn't get boring, does it, John?
No, I wish it was a little more boring, but
Yes.
it's always a pleasure to talk with you on Sunday evenings, and welcome into a new week.
Yeah, and the same to you. Thanks a lot, John. Jon-Christopher, Bua, White House correspondent for Real Political News. Now, if you missed